In practically every game, the game updates and renders onto the screen every single frame. Whether it's animation, physics, or player movement, it all gets calculated in the duration of the frame. However, it is not possible to guarantee that every frame is the same in terms of time. Some frames are shorter, while others are longer, due to many factors, many of which are out of our control. Depending on what's going on in the game at the moment, your specs, and whatever is running in the background, frames can take longer to calculate. As a result, everything in the game can begin to slow down. You move slower, animations are slower, and the physics are sluggish. This is why you need to calculate the delta time every frame. We can do this with the help of the timestamp, which is the number of seconds or milliseconds, depending on your platform, since the computer epoch, which is a fixed time period from where timestamps will always count up from. It is widely agreed upon to be at midnight, January 1st, 1970. This is known as the Unix epoch. From here, it's all straightforward. To start, we create a variable representing when the game loop last ran, which we set to the current timestamp when we start the game loop for the first time. And using this variable, we can calculate the difference between the current timestamp and the timestamp when the game loop last ran, and putting that into a variable. This variable is our delta time. We then set the last ran timestamp variable to the current timestamp, and this cycle repeats for every frame. The idea is that we can use this magic delta time number to time every action in the game. A simple example would be a moving square. When we just move the square 5 pixels every frame, the square will noticeably slow down or stutter depending on our frame rate. However, if we multiply the amount that we want to move the square by the delta time that we calculated earlier this frame, the square will always move at the same speed, regardless of FPS. However, you may notice that even though the square now moves at the same pace in both high FPS and low FPS, it now moves far slower. This is because by multiplying a quantity, in this case 5 pixels, by the delta time, it changes from unit per frame to unit per second. Therefore, what used to be 5 pixels per frame is now 5 pixels per second, which appears slower. But it is now consistent. Even in a catastrophic lag spike, when a frame takes very long, the square will still end up in the correct position that it would have ended up in if it was moving the whole time smoothly. This is the exact goal, to guarantee that the game will feel the same on all kinds of devices. There is one important consideration though. It is very important to cap the delta time variable at a reasonable amount, for example at about 1/3 of a second. This is because in the event of a lag spike large enough, movement such as player movement can skip a large distance, potentially even missing an obstacle such as a wall or a floor, causing the player to fall out. This phenomenon is known as tunneling. It is also even more likely to happen if an object is moving fast,